Hey, Steve Saretsky here. I want to put together a quick video. I'm going to focus on Richmond, which is very close to me. It's where I grew up, went to school. A lot of my friends are still there, as well as some of my family. So, um, I actually want to talk about Richmond and the impacts of foreign buyers there. Never has there been a more evidence stacking up and showing the impacts of foreign capital coming in and distorting a real estate market. I think Richmond is the prime example. Um, let's talk about some of the numbers first of all. So Richmond is 50% Chinese. That's from the city of Richmond. That's their data. So Richmond is 50% Chinese. Um, when the provincial government started collecting foreign buyer data, Richmond had the highest concentration of foreign buyers in the real estate market. So 25% of roughly just under 25% of transactions were from foreign buyers. And Richmond has also increased the most of any city in British Columbia. So it has the highest concentration of foreign buyers, and it's also increased the most of any city. So let's talk about that. So 50% are Chinese, 25% foreign buyers, and the biggest increase in single-family detached homes over the last 3 years. So, okay, 25% of foreign buyers, that's already extremely high. But what it's not factoring in is, let's be honest, is the majority of Chinese buyers are already permanent residents or they're Canadian citizens. So it's not really tracking, okay, well, where is their actual income being earned? Because what's happening is majority of the time is the husband works overseas and the home goes under the daughter or the housewife's name. So the income isn't actually earned here majority of the time, despite the citizenship or the permanent residency. So yes, you only have 25% foreign buyers, which is already extremely high. But that's still not factoring, and I would say it's much closer. It's got to be closer to 50%. It could even be higher, but we don't know. So let's just go with 25% for now. So 25% foreign buyers, again, that's the highest of any city in BC. And over the last 3 years, no city in BC has gone up more in value than Richmond. Over the last 3 years, single-family homes in Richmond have gone up by 80%, 80. It's an incredible number. It's totally unsustainable. 80%. I mean, let's be honest. Richmond is great, but there's really nothing special about it. So you have to ask, well, how is Richmond going up 80% in 3 years? I don't think it was undervalued 3 years ago. So, but you have to. So I guess you ultimately have to understand. Okay, well, why is this happening? So you look at the Chinese economy; it's terrible. You got a communist government. Everybody wants to get their money out into a safe haven, and that's what you're seeing globally. So it's not just in Vancouver or Richmond. You're talking about Australia, New York, the UK. This is happening everywhere. It's happening in Seattle right now. Okay, so everyone's pushing their money out. Okay, so 80% in the last 3 years. I mean, that's such clear anecdotal evidence, and it's nice to actually finally have the evidence to say, because a lot of the times this gets pushed down. Everyone says, oh, you're race baiting or whatever, and it shuts down a productive conversation about, okay, well, what's going on in our real estate market here? How our home prices gone up 80% over the last 3 years? We finally have the data to actually say, okay, Richmond has the highest concentration of foreign buyers, likely foreign capital, and it's also gone up the highest. So there's got to be a little bit of correlation right there, right off the hop. Now you can actually look at it and say, okay, since the introduction of the foreign buyers tax, Richmond detached family homes have arguably taken maybe the biggest hit of all of the cities right now. It's been in a buyer's market for 3 months now, consecutively. There's 12 months of inventory right now in the detached market, which is it's huge. It's massive. There's hardly any sales happening right now. I believe the latest foreign buyer data shows that only 5% of foreign buyers are purchased in Richmond in September. So it went from 25 to 5%, and with that, you've seen hardly any sales. 12 months now of backed up inventory. Prices have dropped 11% now, as per the median, 11%. So it's clear, like anecdotal evidence. So I think that Richmond is a prime example of foreign capital coming in and completely distorting a market. Hopefully we can now use this data to come to a collective agreement and look towards solutions to, okay, how do we solve this? This cannot just be a place to come in and use it as a speculative investment. Like I said, single family homes, as per the real estate board's benchmark, 80% over the last 3 years in single family homes, the largest increase of any city in British Columbia. Again, that's Richmond, my home, and I think it is a prime example of the impact of foreign capital flowing from overseas.